and welcome to the live stream ahead of Game 3 of the American League Division Series between the A's and the Astros. Now, we spoke yesterday, if you were on the stream yesterday or watched it back, hey, we were hopeful that the A's would recover and come and level the series. Well, it didn't happen, did it? It didn't happen. The A's are in a hole. There's no two ways about it. 2-0 down, the A's are in a hole. Jesus is on the mound. Will he lead the resurrection, or will it be the last supper for the A's 2020 MLB season? Let's hope it's the former, because even though it's been a weird little shortened season, I have really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed catching up, doing the Zoom calls with the rest of the A's UK crew and lots of other people. So for it to end today would be a sad point. It's got to end sometime, of course, but at the very least, come on, we've got to win one. Come on. Hello, Listella. Kana and all the other people that you like to be on the old YouTube. Uber Alice to you all. Yes, let's go Oakland. Absolutely. We do need to get going today. We do need the win. And hopefully we can do it behind Jesus Lozado. We can't lose. Well, in one ways we can't lose. In some ways we've proved the last two games that definitely can lose. We're quite good at it. By the looks of it. First pitch is at 12:35 Oakland time. It should pop up in a second. Well, that's the starting pitchers today. Jesus Lozado and Jose Urquidy on the mound. So Jesus, the Messiah, is up there. And Matthew Bejarano says A's were down 0-2 in the 2012 ALDS under Bob Melvin. True. Came back and forced game 5. Yeah, good point. We have shown some fight in the past, so hopefully we can do that again. Yes, so 8:35 in the UK, 12:35 in Oakland, so that's about half an hour or so away. So getting close to first pitch, and that's the lineup for today. We'll go through it in a bit more detail in a moment, but the key thing is, I think, the key thing really is that it's basically the same as yesterday. That didn't do too well. They've moved a few people about, but there we go. Both of Lozado's starts against the Astros this season have resulted in wins for the A's, says Matthew. Well, hopefully that's a good omen. Garth Eisenbeis, and the lineup has to make contact and get on base in front of KD. Looks like his old self, and he needs men on base to do the most damage. Yeah, he does. That's been one of very few bright spots we've had so far in this playoffs. It's been the return to form of KD. We all hoped that if he could just get one, he'd suddenly find that mojo back, and he seems to have done so. He's been looking really good, but it's been the story so far. Solo home runs isn't going to get it done. We need some base runners. So half an hour till first pitch. In the UK, coverage is on TV on the BT Sports ESPN channel. There in the States, it's on TBS. Oh dear, are you confident? Anyone confident? Probably not. We shall see. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll, much as it's painful, we will have a look back at game 2, shall we? Here we go. So the A's lost it 5-2. A's are on the brink. I'll put there. Astros one win away from their 4th straight ALCS. And you can't help but feel that the story of yesterday, and in fact kind of the story of the day before, was that it felt like whatever we threw at the Astros, they had an answer to it. And we weren't posing particularly difficult questions to them either. So that is something we spoke about earlier in the series and at a game 1. This is a team that is battle hardened in the playoffs, and they've kind of proved that they can handle these moments. They've always had an answer to what we've done, and we haven't. We've looked a bit lifeless, frankly. Bob Melvin has spoken before today's game about he wanted just the atmosphere on the bench to be a bit louder, a bit rowdier, get behind the team. It shouldn't really take game 3 of an ALDS before we start doing that, but there we go. Tough loss yesterday despite the home runs by KD and a big blast by Chad Pinder. That was a long way gone. Here we go. A few comments. No confidence, Scarf. Eisenbeis will be pleasantly surprised if the A's pull this one out. Yeah. Difficult to see from the first 2 games how it turns around, but we've seen it 100 times before in baseball, probably more than that. It can happen. Matthew says, under Bob Melvin, the A's have never been knocked out in the postseason in a game that wasn't a win or go home game. Interesting fact. Let's see how that goes. And then Stella Uberalla says, at least we didn't start fires. They would go crazy. Well, I can't see fires getting into this one today, to be honest. Hopefully Jesus goes deep. We need it, let's be honest. We need something. But I mean, more than anything, we need the offense to get going. And if the offense doesn't get going and suddenly find its groove, then we're really in trouble. Because it doesn't look like we can contain the Astros, and that's not a big knock on our pitchers because we know what a good lineup it is. So, tough days, tough days. Let's have a look at the lineup, shall we? And I shall do it, the A's section at least, in the form of the good old Pop Pickers chart rundown, if I've set it up correctly. Here we go. There we go. In at one, once again, holding the top spot for the second game in a row, it's Marcus Semien at shortstop. In at two, Tommy DeStella, second base. Chad Pinder keeps his place after his home run and is continuing at third, both third in the lineup and at third base. KD cleaning up, moving up the spot. And that designated hitter Matt Olson is also up the spot. From 6 to 5, didn't do a lot to deserve it, but we'll see. Talking about someone who needs to get going, that's Mark Canna in their field, batting sixth. Stephen Piscotti is also there. He's at 7th, moved up from 9th. Ramon Laureano is a non-mover in the 8th spot, playing centre field. And Sean Murphy, who can hit big boy home runs, moves back down to the 9th spot. And is catching Jesus Lozado. So lots of lineup, same people, a bit of jigging around, but otherwise, Bob Melvin is going with the same guys and saying, come on, time to pull your finger out, boys. Yeah. Pull your finger out and make something happen. In terms of the Astros, same again for Lem, other than Josh Reddick. Unfortunately, is in the lineup today. Diaz, it's designated hitter instead, but otherwise it's the same lineup. Springer after his 2 home runs yesterday. Altuve, Brantley, Bregman, Correa, Tucker, Ryman Slang, Gurriel, Diaz, and Maldonado behind the plate with Jose Urique on the mound. There we go, that was a bit of fun. A bit of Pop Pickers fun for you. So Garth says, hoping Baby Jesus gets his longest outing this afternoon. Otherwise, look for Frankie to stop the bleeding. We'll start tomorrow if Jesus has a good outing. Yeah, so before, in fact, during the game yesterday, Susan Slosser mentioned that it was Jesus who'd gone down to the bullpen and not Frankie. So she was feeling at that point that it was more likely that Frankie would get the start today. But Jesus has come through. I'm really confident about Jesus. I think he's going to do well for us today. We certainly need him to do well today. But yeah, I'm sure he will. In terms of looking at Jesus, I had a quick look. He pitched 3 1/3 innings in Game 1 of the American League Wildcard Series against the White Sox. Did give up a couple of home runs. It didn't last too long, but one of those appearances where, other than a couple of pitches he threw for, or that got hit for home runs rather than threw for home runs, he did okay. He did okay. Certainly wasn't a case of a rookie really struggling in his first postseason start. So, yeah, hopefully he can come through for us today. As for Akidi, he pitched 4 1/3 innings against Minnesota. Zach Greinke is still having arm issues, so he's not in. But Akidi was a bit of a star of the playoffs last season for the Astros, as something of a surprise, but he's done well for them in big games and big pressure points. So he's in today. Fastball change, slider curve from him. Has made 2 starts against the A's. Has generally done pretty well against us. However, worth noting that both Marcus Semien and Matt Olson have taken him deep. Only did it earlier this season. I think Semi was last September or last August, something like that. So we know we can take him deep, and boy do we need to. But once again, same old story. Solo shots are not going to win this game. We need to do more than hope we run into one every now and then. We need good, consistent at-bats. We need to make the pitcher work. We need to get on base, however we need to do it, and start driving some runs in. RISP is the word. Don't forget it. RISP is the word. And we've been pretty terrible with RISP at the moment. And talking about terrible, I don't like to say it because I don't like to be negative in that way, but you kind of have to be honest with it. Looking at some of the playoff stats for our hitting lineup, Mark Canha, so far in the playoffs, including the White Sox series, Canha is 1 for 16. Eek. Not much worse. Matt Olson is 1 for 15 in the playoffs so far. Did hit a home run, but that's all he's done. Robbie Grossman hasn't got a lot, 1 for 12. So that's not good. Laureano is 2 for 18. So that's pretty hopeless. Even Tommy DeStella, he's got 4 hits, but he's 4 for 19. So not a great average there. So look, it's one of those games where you've got to come through today. There's no more tomorrow if we don't win. So if we're going to recover, if we're going to get our mojo back, if we're going to do it, it needs to start today. And maybe it will, maybe it will when you look at the guys like KD, who has been informed, Pinder with the big home run yesterday. We can get guys on base in front of Lem, we've got a chance. Mark Canha, if he can get going, we've maybe got a chance if Stephen Piscotty gets going, but these are big ifs at the moment. And I think the problem we've got is that when you look at the bench, you could kind of think, okay, we did do very well yesterday, maybe we should change it up. But who would you bring in, really, realistically? You could bring Robbie Grossman back in, but as I said, he's not hit a lot anyway. Laura Cat, hello. Thanks for joining the YouTube show. I hope Ernie makes a comeback today. He definitely needs to, doesn't he? And we know he's got it in him. Hit a big home run the other day. So he has got a homer. As I mentioned just a little while earlier, has hit a home run of Jose Urquidy earlier this season. So today would be a good day to stick a couple of home runs over the fence, wouldn't it? So is anyone confident? Probably not, I suspect. There's not been a lot of hope to cling on to in those first 2 games. But things can turn around pretty quickly, and they need to if we're going to get anything out of this series. I was going to have a quick look about the Braves game, which is going on so far. That looks like it's a really good series. I saw a bit of it yesterday. Plenty of aggro going on there with Ronald Acuna getting hit again. And okay, so they're in the top of the 4th. Braves are leading 1-0. There we go. Score was a Dansby Swanson home run. Fly ball to centre, hit one yesterday, didn't he? So there we go. Braves currently leading the series 1-0 and hoping to go 2-0 up. Be good. Dodgers 1-0 up after beating the Padres yesterday. Yanks and Rays are tied 1-1 after the Rays fought back in the series yesterday. 18 strikeouts, I think their pitching staff racked up across the board. So Labour definitely doing a good job there. I don't know. You will notice that I haven't got an A's top on today. I have very deliberately not gone down the road of wearing colours. It hasn't worked the last 2 games, so I thought I'm going to stick with a plain old jumper. Here we go. Score prediction from Canha Ruberales. A's 11, Astros 10. See the Astros getting 10 runs. I'm not so sure about the A's hitting 11. Could happen. Doesn't look likely right now. Okay, if you didn't see it the other day, we did do a podcast just before the game 1 of this series, and we spoke about various things, looking back at the White Sox win, White Sox series win, and then also getting the better of, or hoping to get the better of the Astros on the way. But here's what we were talking about on the podcast most recently. In this episode, we'll be looking back at the White Sox series and previewing what's to come in the ALDS. And there's a whole bunch of us on the line. Hannah, Dom, and Jay are on the line. First off, Dom, how was your head on Friday morning?
Rough as arseholes.
Lovely.
Nothing more to add.
but happy for it to be rough as arseholes in a sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That sort of morning after blur stroke bliss.
A great night on, when was it, Thursday night, Hannah, and almost hard to believe, to be honest.
It was hard to believe, especially when we went 3-0 down. But as everyone saw, the outfit change, I think the players felt that, obviously. Yeah.
I think the players got the biggest boost from that extra run that we got out of nowhere.
If you haven't seen the video of Game
5 minutes, that took
channel,
5 minutes.
Please do give that a watch on our YouTube channel, where Hannah slightly missed the fact that it was a 2-run home run, but we won't mention it again at any point during this podcast. Don't worry. She doesn't look convinced.
I had my Eloy, is it Eloy or Eloy? Anyways, I had my Jimenez bobblehead as a good luck charm. He's
did you stab it in the leg after he got his double?
No, I just brought him upstairs when we were down 0-1 in the series and had him hang out with me, and the rest is history. The
important question now, Jay, is: do you have an Astros bobblehead? And if you don't, I need your address. We're going to get one shipped.
I do not have an Astros bobblehead. I need to find something. Right now, the closest thing that I have to anything Astros related is
trash can.
There's that.
Okay, we're going to have a quick look on MLB.com to see what the news is. And here's an interesting one. We were just speaking about Zack Greinke. No structural damage to the arm. Apparently, this is Brian McTaggart, the Astros MLB.com beat writer. Astros manager Dusty Baker said Wednesday veteran right-hander Zack Greinke was told by a doctor there was nothing wrong structurally with him after coming down with arm soreness. Baker wouldn't say if Greinke would be available to pitch if the series stretches beyond Wednesday's scheduled Game 3. Baker said Greinke, who came down with arm soreness, recently threw off flat ground at Dodger Stadium following Game 2 and did well, apparently. So there remains a chance the Astros could start Greinke if there was Game 4 on Thursday. But Baker said the best case scenario was trying to close out the A's and give Greinke more time off. Christian Javier may be a candidate to pitch in Game 4, even though he threw an inning in relief in Game 1. One good bit of news here then, as you would expect, Paredes is ruled out of Game 3. Pitched in both games, absolutely bullied us, so we didn't need to face him again. Same with Ryan Presley, as they note here, he pitched in both. So they're two best guys in the bullpen, arguably. Probably won't be on the mound today, so that might be something for us to latch onto, perhaps. What is the A's news? Let's have a look at the A's news, shall we? A's hopes rest with Luzardo. They do a bit. There we go. Let's have a look. Here's Bob Melvin. A's went into the ALDS full of confidence against an Astros club they had dethroned for the AL West title in the regular season. Since then, however, Houston is once again looking like an all too familiar foe. Yeah, just a bit. In a history of best of 5 postseason series, teams taking a 2-0 lead have gone on to win the series 73 of 83 times, so 88%. So what we take from that is it has happened 10 times out of 3, so it is possible. Most recent team to rally from an 0-2 deficit was the Yankees against the Indians in 2017. Well, Melvin's quote, we just have to win tomorrow and then worry about the next day after that. We put all our efforts into tomorrow, as in today, and just think about tomorrow. Anything further than that is a distraction. All we have to do is win a game, and hopefully that's tomorrow. It needs to be, doesn't it? Well, there we go. So, we're almost there. Not long to go now. That trash can joke was perfect. Thank you, Laura. I'm glad you enjoyed that one. Yes, so don't forget to check out that podcast, Oakland Days UK. We're on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, all of the places. So do check us out there if you haven't done so already. 15 minutes till first pitch, as pointed out on the chat. Yes, very good. Oh dear, I can't say I'm optimistic. Is there any reason for hope today? I guess just the randomness of baseball. That's all we've got to go on. But we shall see. Maybe now that we're almost out, we can play with a bit more freedom. Sometimes that can work. Sometimes if you think, well, maybe we've not got much chance of getting back into this, we can loosen up a bit and go and get it, because we've not really been... We've had times when we've been ahead, but we've always looked a bit second best throughout the series, and that needs to change very, very quickly if we're going to get anywhere. Okay then, so thanks to everyone who's joined on the chat. It's always good to hear from people on the chat, so that's been great. This has been archived, or will be archived, on the YouTube channel, so if you're watching it after the event, thanks for watching, and, well, if there is a Game 4 on Thursday, I will do a live stream again at 8 PM UK time, midday Oakland time. So if that's not a reason for the A's to find some form and get a win, then I don't know what is. Let's go Oakland, says Laura. Absolutely, Laura. Definitely, we need to get one done. And it would be really disappointing to go out in a sweep, especially to these Astros. So hopefully we can get something done today. At least win one game. If we win one, we can win two. We can win three. Fingers crossed, A's rounds. Hope it's an enjoyable game. But let's be honest, this could be the last game of our season. So let's not try and get too uptight about it. Let's not try and get too enraged if things start going wrong. The last time, potentially, that we'll be watching the A's and live baseball this year. So let's try and enjoy whatever happens. And at least if we're going down, we'll go down with a drink in our hand. Maybe that's a good note to end on. Okay, thanks a lot everyone for watching. As I say, if we're playing again tomorrow, I'll do another live stream tomorrow at 8 PM UK time, midday Oakland time. There we go. Got my mouse on the wrong screen. That'll work. Okay, cheers everyone. Thanks for watching.